Hey everyone, how's it going? Next I'm going to do a day update video of driving with the charge pipe and the blow-off valve. I guess the blow-off valve is definitely more audible, which is definitely cool, and the response has definitely turned up on the car. It's a lot more responsive going through the gears. I'm assuming because more air is flowing through it, and I guess I'm pretty sure that the blow-off valve is holding better boost than the stock ones were, because right now I'm only at, I think it's like 14 or 15 psi tops, and it should be spiking to about 18 because I'm running E85, but it hasn't yet, so I don't know if it's just the computer has to adjust still or what's going on. I'm sure it's probably still adjusting to the charge pipe too, because it is on app 5 for the auto tune. I am going to be flashing over to the JB4 back end on the MHD. I'm going to probably just set it straight for the 93 with like the intercool, whatever map you can choose, just because I do have meth that I'm going to run through the car, and instead of E85, just because there's very few E85 stations around this area. If there's more 85, I'd probably stick with 85 to upgrade the fuel pump. Oh yeah, that's my tires rubbing. I have a set of coilovers to go on, which I've been way too lazy to do. It's been really hot, and I don't have access to a lift right now. I'm not trying to do them on the ground. I don't know, it's just my preference. I know a lot of people do them on the ground, it's perfectly fine, but it's drivable for now just because I don't daily it and it sits in the garage a lot of the time. But the rubbing's pretty bad, as you can see. Don't ever put a 10.5 inch wide and a 285 tire on the rear stock suspension, even though it has the ZQ8 sport suspension, whatever the M1 is that comes with the M package. But yeah, I'm overall happy with the charge pipe and blow-off valve. I think it was a decent upgrade for what I paid. I think I paid like $500 for it, for both of them combined. So it wasn't too bad. I have a couple more mods that are going to be going on the car. Nothing huge right now, aside, like I said, the coilovers, which are obviously going to help my handling and hopefully make me not rub. Hoping the stiffness of the suspension is going to keep the bounce back there off. And I have just like an oil catch can that I got through Mishimoto. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to squeeze it in there with those InGen intakes. As you saw in my other video, I had to leave out one of the parts of the InGen just because the new blow-off valve is so big, and the InGens take up so much room. They pretty much take up the entire space there. You even have to like relocate the power steering fluid reservoir to put the InGens in, which is a pain in the ass. I don't know why they would do that. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to squeeze in the oil catch can somewhere, because it's supposed to sit kind of, at least the Mishimoto one is supposed to sit right where, almost right where the power steering was relocated to. So if I can squeeze it in there too, some kind of, I'm assuming it's held up by some kind of bracket. I haven't even looked at any of the stuff in the box yet, but hopefully I can get that in there. Probably next week I'll do another video of the install. But other than that, I just have the meth, which I need to take over to get tuned for then, because I'm pretty sure no one has just like a tune. I know on the JB4 there is a tune that runs meth, but I'm pretty sure you have to edit it yourself a bit. You can't just put the meth in and just load the tune up and go. I'm pretty sure it's like map 7 or something is meth. But other than that, it's gonna be kind of done for the season, I guess, because we do live in Western New York, and our summers are kind of short. Right now it's the end of July. We have maybe 2 more months of good car weather, and then it's gonna go sit inside for the rest of the winter. The winter I am planning on doing the single turbo swap build. I don't know which one I'm gonna go with. I might just have a local fabrication shop fab up some kit for me, or what. I know there's a couple out there that are, I guess, ordered prefabbed and ready to go. I know the one Performance makes one. I don't know how that one is. I know they do a lot of like Mustang stuff, and then there's a couple other ones out there. There's always like the the RV turbo swap, which I don't think I want to stick with the stock twins, even though it's cooler, I guess, to like be stealth. The big turbo draws a lot of crowd. Just popping out of the hood there right next to the engine. That's what I'm going to try to go for. And my goal, I guess, would be 800 wheel, which I know I'm going to have to swap out a couple more parts in that. I also wanted to order the limited slip for the rear end, and these cars don't come with them. I don't know why BMW did that, if they're afraid of these surpassing the M3s of this generation with the limited slips, because those do have them, or what. They're not that less expensive than an M3. I'm pretty sure the MSRP on this car was like 60 or 62. M3s probably started at like 65, 70. But other than that, I'm pretty sure like this car should be done within probably the next year or so if I do get the big turbo going and all stuff like that. I don't see why I shouldn't. And then turbo, limited slip, and probably clutch, and this car will be good. If I ever plan on going beyond 800-ish, I'm probably going to have to do some internal work on the engine. I haven't really researched much of it. I don't know what's out there for internals for this engine. I'm sure there's some kind of support. But these never, well, they haven't yet taken off like Supras have, because they weren't in Fast and the Furious for whatever reason. But it's just straight 6. It's aluminum block instead of an iron block like the Supras have. But still straight 6, 3-liter twin turbo stock. So it's essentially the same exact engine. But yeah, guys, I'd recommend the charge pipe and blow off valve. Some people say it's not needed, but if you're going to be tuning your car beyond just like intake and the JB4 flash, I'd recommend it if you're going catalyst downpipes and exhaust system, and you want to go like that beyond meth, because the CPE one does have the meth bung pre-drilled and has like a little cap in it, so you can. So it has, you don't have to drill anything for it. You can just run the wire through, or run the line through your car, get it all set up, and yeah, basically go from there. Then you just plug it right into this charge pipe, which is an awesome reason. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Give me a like, subscribe, tell me what you want to see. I think I'm planning maybe doing like a walk around on my cars. I haven't done one yet, and showing the mods off a little bit. But guys, have a good day. Thanks. Bye.